This game ends up going the distance here, simply because... Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gfinity StarCraft Masters. I'm here joined by TargA, who didn't have perhaps the greatest games to start the tournament off, but you know what, it's always great to see you here, and it's also, you did actually see some good games in the end, and maybe not quite able to make it to the knockout stages tomorrow, but what are your thoughts sort of on the venue and the tournament we've had here so far?
Well, for me personally, it kind of sucked. I beat Snut last weekend at a Norwegian tournament, and I felt really confident against him. We were both in kind of like a zombie mode. I didn't sleep. He had the sickest travel ever. So I think the games were like, except for maybe the first game and some parts of the last game, like the second game I was really happy with it.
Yeah.
And the third game I was happy with some of it. And against True, I just wasn't my day. And yeah, the venue, it's really cool. I mean, we're in kind of like a cinema, I guess this is. And the production looks really good, and everything around it. Like we have our practice area, we have a lounge area. I really like that. Not so many. There aren't many tournaments left in Europe that has that, so I'm very happy with that.
Cool, and we of course we went out and chatted a little bit last night as well over dinner, and it looks like you've actually been all around the place. I mean, we were talking about what life is like in Melbourne at one point, and I was like, what? How are we even having this conversation? It was really cool. People would not normally know this kind of thing. Talk me through sort of a very brief synopsis, I suppose, of kind of like the years of your life sort of leading up to when you started in esports. What's that been like for you? What's your journey look like? Because it sounds amazing.
Well, I started with Warcraft many years ago. I'm not exactly sure how old I was when I started playing, but I never got too good. I played a little bit competitively. Which ended up with me traveling to Korea for one tournament.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun. But after I finished high school, I started studying biology, and I quickly found out that that was not for me. So I quit. I worked for a while, and then I decided to move to Australia with a few of my friends. And in Australia, I was studying business. Okay. Yeah, the first year we lived in Melbourne. And after that, yeah, it's an awesome city. And after that, we moved to Gold Coast, which is also an awesome city. And what ended up happening was that I got a little bit good at StarCraft. Like I was the best player in Australia, and that was like when Moonglade was maybe at its prime, or maybe a little bit after. Sure. So like compared to the Europeans and the Koreans, I was like pretty decent. And at the same time, I was getting bored as fuck from my studies. So I kind of like decided that either I have to change course, okay, or I can try this pro gaming stuff. So I choose the latter. And then I moved to Poland for Ministry of Wind. Yep. And then I lived 1 year in Germany, in Krefeld, next to Take. Yep. And now I live in Bergen with the same friends that I moved to Australia with.
I almost want to ask where next. It feels like every couple of months you got to be somewhere different.
No, I think I'll stay there. Most likely I'm studying. I start new studies this, what is it, fall? It's called in English?
Autumn,
yeah?
fall. Yeah.
Autumn? Yes. Yeah. English is hard. And I'm not sure what I'm going to study yet, but most likely I'm going to start studying.
Are you still going to be able to keep up some degree of pro gaming while you're studying? I mean, you managed to do that in Australia. Are you going to do that here as well?
I think so. Like, as long as WCS is there, I have to put in some effort, because WCS is kind of like easy money right now. So if I put in some time, I should be able to keep up my level somewhat. Like, I haven't been practicing too much lately, because I just moved and I wasn't too motivated, but it should be possible, right?
Yeah, I think so. We were also talking a lot of stuff outside of StarCraft as well. Just to pull away from that for a second, we were talking football. Yeah. I know tomorrow's the Cricket World Cup final. Tomorrow's also the Malaysian Grand Prix. There's just an awful lot of sport, but of course you should be watching the StarCraft. What other stuff are you into? Like, what kind of teams do you support? What's TargA like outside of StarCraft?
I watch a lot of football, Premier League, and my team is Manchester United. and
I'm gonna have to cut this short now.
and I watch a lot of other sports as well. Like my friend is a big tennis fan, so we watch some of Federer's matches.
Okay.
And like I watch some of the winter sports, skiing, biathlon, and so on. Which is when I was younger, it was more fun to watch, but it's still pretty entertaining.
I've never worked out like what kind of trip someone have had to be on to have gone to biathlon. It feels like almost a discreet assassin kind of sport. Sneak up silently over 20 kilometers to a target, hit them 3 times in the head, and ski home. That's basically what that sport is. I've never understood it, but I remember watching in Sochi. It was so exciting to watch, and I don't even know why.
It's really, really exciting. It's actually one of the most exciting sports there is. And it's all like, I think the people that go there, they're not the best skiers maybe. And I'm not sure why, but I mean, it's just an insane sport overall. And Norway is really good at it, which makes it even more exciting.
You'll be at the next one then?
Never. No chance.
All right, so moving back into StarCraft just briefly. We're very close now to finding the final 8 in the bracket tomorrow. Obviously, you've gotten a chance to look at a lot of the games and play against some of the players here. Is there anyone in particular that you're watching out for? Obviously, like, loads of people have been like, partying. But is there anyone in particular you think, actually, this guy might just do it?
Rogue is insanely good. I was so impressed with his games against Solki. It looked so easy. But Parting is on another level. Like, Parting beat him a few days ago in the NSSL qualifier, I think. And there's basically just going to be Zergs left in this tournament, I think. Like, maybe Hart made it out, and Jakshi will...
Playing at the moment.
Yeah, he will maybe make it out. I don't think those Terrans are good enough to beat the Zergs that are here, like Rogue, Solki, and so on. But those Zergs are not good enough to beat Parting. And Parting can always have a shitty day. Like, people kind of forget that. Like when he was playing in GSL finals, he didn't look like at his normal level, I think. Maybe he was nervous, but if Parting brings his like D game, he's gonna demolish them, I think. Like, he's way too good against Zerg at the moment.
Fair enough. Well, we'll see how that ends up panning out. Any last words, or where can people find you? Let's go ahead and do some plugging.
Well, people can follow me on Twitter at TargA01. And yeah, that's about it. And of course, thank you for watching, and thank you for doing the interview.
No worries. All right, guys, we'll be back with more content from the Gfinity StarCraft Masters in a bit. Take care for now.